Having a moment. Having a moment on TV.
Hi.
Hello.
You're having a moment.
Always. Just a different day.
Yes.
Same story.
Yes. Welcome everybody to episode 7. I can't believe we're on 7.
I know.
I think I said 5 on the last episode.
This is where the like story gets really intriguing.
The
like you
rubber
finally
hits the
caught
road.
on. Yeah, it's either now or never. You
Right.
like decide if there's going to be a season 2.
Right.
You know?
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I can handle
We're
it.
gonna have like 20 seasons.
20.
Don't worry
I
about
know. We're gonna be old and gray.
I know.
And
I like that.
still,
I like that. And still at it.
Still
going.
chit chatting with everybody.
It's just going to be a determinant of like where we go with it, you know?
Right.
It's probably going to be like more comedic relief when
Right.
we get older.
Right. I would say
It would turn into like something like The Office.
Right. Which I'm fine with.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm fine with it. Okay, so first, let's get into some wine today. So the
Love a good tasting.
star of the show today is the Herman Moser. This is Gruner Veltliner. Look at me putting it up here. Oh yeah, Gruner Veltliner. This is Purdue. Gruner Veltliner is from Austria. This one is in particular. And
I love how I was like,
yeah, I see. It is a lovely, light, white wine. So for people that love Sauvignon Blanc or a nice crisp Pinot Grigio, Gruner Veltliner is definitely in that genre. So think citrus, think tropical, all stainless steel. This is hand harvested, a really lovely representation of Gruner Veltliner. This would be great with any kind of seafood or any kind of light cheeses.
I literally just smelled this and I was like, this would go really well with the cheese.
Yes.
I love
so
it.
think about maybe a nice like Gouda, like a salty Gouda would be great
I'm
with
here
this.
for that.
Yep.
Totally here for that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Love
Cheers.
it. Cheers to you
So
guys.
so Herman Moser, Purdue, Gruner Veltliner for the wine portion of the Wine Women Wellness today.
Oh, yeah.
It's yummy, isn't
Like
it?
delightful.
So it's a little bit more
Scratch me
complex
up.
than you think, maybe, than you're maybe expecting. And it's a really nice wine, even if you wanted to have it in the wintertime. It can stand up to some of the heavier foods that we eat in the wintertime.
I like still taste it. You know,
Yes.
some things like come back and they like go back and then you have to like keep going.
Right.
This is like kind of staying.
Yay.
And lingering.
Yay. Fresh. Yes. Crispy.
Fresh in the morning. We're doing this at 6 a.m. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No.
It's like midday. But it could be 6 a.m. You can
You
have
just
it.
never know.
You just never know. You really don't. So, no, this is wonderful.
Yeah, good. So we were chatting about what we were going to talk about today, and one of the things that we did, I think it was in episode 1.
I think it was the first one.
Yeah, was we asked a question of each other that we didn't know the answer to. My hair is bugging me today. I'm sorry, everybody, if I keep messing with it.
She's whipping and hanging over here.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we have the same hair color now. I
We
loved her
do.
hair color so
We
much.
do.
I had to take it, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
We're slowly going to start looking the same on our
It's a-
faces, too. I actually do wear glasses sometimes, so maybe I'll wear my glasses
well,
one
maybe
day.
I'll take mine off. There we go.
This is blowing my mind.
I know.
Look at how we started
We're
with
both
the fly.
feisty redheads.
Man, yeah. I wish I was naturally a feisty redhead. It's so true.
Well, you're feisty.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
naturally feisty.
110. I'm
Yeah.
like, why wasn't my hair red
Right.
back in the day?
Right.
Same for you.
Well, yeah, my hair's not red.
Which is weird because doesn't she look so great? Make
Yeah.
sure you do it in the comment section.
Yeah.
She naturally looks like an awesome redhead. Me as the jury's
No,
not, but
no,
you
no.
literally when you were like, what? I was like, you got to have real red hair.
No, I do not.
That's something. See, you were
Yeah.
going to move forward with
Right.
something that
we don't know.
we
Yes.
don't know about each other. I did not know that she did not have red hair.
Yes.
naturally, because it's just so natural
Yeah.
on her, like her face. You know what I mean?
Well, you know,
I thought
sometimes-
you were like the blonde was the thing that you were getting in, and that you had naturally red hair.
Right? No, I was, I was blonde for a long, long time, and then I had 2 children that have red hair, and I was like,
That's another.
Yeah.
That was another thing too.
Yeah, and so then I was like, oh gosh, wow.
Where did I?
Yeah, and so
But it validated everyone thinking you had naturally red hair.
Right, because my kids have hair.
Red hair.
Yeah.
They're ginger babies.
They are ginger babies.
I love your kids.
They are ginger babies.
They're so cute.
So anyway, so that's something that you didn't know about me.
I know.
So this is what we were talking about. So we were talking about the idea of asking a question that we didn't know about you or about me, and so just sort of let it flow from there, and have it be a little bit sort of appropriate as to what we were talking about, like not your favorite color or like what's your favorite vegetable. Hello.
I mean,
what's your favorite vegetable?
Oh my gosh, it have to be a cucumber. And I know that sounds
really
weird, but they go in everything, and they're really fresh
and they're crunchy.
You can I put them in my detox waters all the time. I'm like a really big detox water person. If you ever are on like a nutritional journey with me or anybody at the studio, I'm always like, use the detox waters.
Yeah.
So like right now, I'm currently on strawberry and lime.
Okay, I love that,
which is really good.
I don't love cucumber in my water.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I love it in a salad or in a whatever, but I don't love cucumber.
And beets.
I love beets.
How creepy am I with beets? Like, who says beet? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I used to hate them, and now I love them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There's something about it.
Yeah, that's good.
We really just ventured in on
the right. Well, so I was going to ask
a part of the wellness.
It is right. It is really. I was going to ask Lauren a question that I don't know the answer to, and then she's going to ask me a question that she doesn't know the answer to. And my question to Lauren
dun, dun, dun.
is, what's your favorite quote? Like all-time favorite quote?
Oh my gosh. You like stunned me on that.
I'm sorry.
Oh man. There's just so many. And I'm one of those people too. Like I read, so I have, and if you don't have this at home, please go get it. It's the Motivation app.
Oh, I have it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've actually talked about it.
Yeah, it sends me notes every day.
It sends you notes every day, and it has however many times you want it to. Actually, you can set in your settings if you want 3, 5, just 1, whatever.
Right.
So I get quotes every single day. So I'm like, it's really hard for me to pick like a I don't know. Professional quote, if you will, or like a famous quote,
right?
But we always do one in the studio, and I guess it's not really a quote, but I like it.
Yeah,
and it's the term "yes, you can." Just yes, you can. And we actually say it all the time. But I think you can use it in so many different outlets of your life.
Right.
I mean, especially we were talking about goals and versus resolutions the other day, and then we've also talked a lot about just like your journey in life. And when we had Kim Waters Rose on here, we talked about how to handle people. I feel like that can resonate with you all the time. So I like the yes you can, but I actually have a tattoo of one. So, and I don't know if you knew this.
I know you have tattoos.
You know where. Plenty. Not done yet.
But me neither.
You're not. I'm getting a sleeve. No, I'm just kidding. But I have one right here across my rib cage.
Yeah.
And it's what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Now that one.
Well, I can see that on you all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is like literally, that one is like it's on my body. So.
Right.
But that's like from a lot of different struggles, and I'm sure we'll go over those, later on down the road. But I just had, for these past 5 years have been a really big, monumental, I don't know, adventure. That's a really kind way of putting it. It definitely was a journey.
Yeah.
But I have gone through a lot of struggles, both, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And not just with owning multiple businesses, but, deaths of family members, my health. And so it really is a true statement of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I used to fight that a lot because I would just be like, why?
Yeah.
Always have to ask the why.
Yeah.
And now I don't, because I'm on the other side of it, of this journey that I'm sure multiple journeys will come ahead, but now I'm just kind of sitting and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I made it out. But and I'm different.
But to gain that strength that you've gotten along the way, sometimes makes you feel a little bit like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And that's a good
feeling. It is, especially when you're 4'11".
Right.
And I swear I'm 5 foot. But
I'm taller.
You are taller.
Yeah.
God, I know. Everybody's taller
honestly,
than me.
I was going to say that's probably the only time in my whole life that I've been able to say that.
I'm glad I'm here for you. Anything I can do to help you.
Yeah.
I know.
So I think those are very appropriate quotes.
Yeah.
I think those are very
good. Like the yes you can, it's just like a really bold statement, I feel.
Right.
It's just like, you gotta have it.
Right.
But I think what doesn't kill you makes you stronger is if that was to be, that is a quote.
Right.
So that would be my quote. Clearly, again, it's on my skin.
Right.
So
right.
I love it and I use it and abide by it as much as I can. Cool. Listen, we have detours every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That's where I'm at.
So my favorite quote, I have two.
Okay.
The first one, I'm a tea drinker, not a coffee drinker.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to drink this tea called Red Zinger, and it was in a Celestial Seasonings Red Zinger.
I love their
brand. In a box, a red box.
Yes.
And I don't know if they do it anymore, but they used to put quotes on the back of the boxes.
Oh, that's fun.
And I was reading it one day, and it was a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, and basically the gist is, nothing great is done without enthusiasm.
Oh yeah,
and
I love it.
I cut it out of the box, and I saved it, and I brought it with me on every move that I made. Every time I was unpacking stuff, I had it. And there's more to the quote, but in general, that's basically what it is. And that's definitely something that I subscribe to. And then most recently, I got on the Brene Brown Daring Greatly bandwagon and read the...
Listen, I'm a stalker for her too.
I
love her.
And she brought that quote, the man in the arena quote, to the forefront for me, because I had not known it. And so...
Oh, that's exactly what I put on my post the other day. Yes.
So the basically, it's not the critic who counts. It's the person that's in the arena, the one that's in the mud.
Getting their ass kicked.
Right. And getting up over and over and over again, because it's not it's not how you do it, it's that you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I still get chills every time I think about that quote. It's it's a great motivator to me. And it's a great way for me to and I think we talked a little bit about this the other day, about that sort of internal self-talk and the bad self-talk that you can sometimes get into. And when you start listening to people that are criticizing you that aren't in your arena, it makes it really easy to say, you know what? You don't count. You're in the seats. You're up there. You're in those seats, and you're basically not where I am, and you don't get to say anything.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Which is really hard to do, because sometimes when people are wanting to change and grow, and especially right now in the new year, as we talk about those goals and staying motivated and things like that, you are open and willing to learn and learn from others and have encouragement from others. And sometimes we naturally just have maybe people that shouldn't be in our lives just by accident, and there's never any accidents.
Right.
So it's clearly there for purpose, but you need to learn from that, and that learning is which people are the ones that are in the cheap seats and which ones are the ones down in the battleground fighting it with you, because there is a difference. And I never really noticed that until I actually did her. Now listen, I don't read books. I do the podcast. I do the actual listening in the car. And I've been doing some traveling, and so that's what I've done, the Dare to Lead and the Call to Courage and all those things. Brene Brown, if you ever watch this,
oh my gosh,
come and be on our show. We would love. I just call it a show.
I know,
it's a show. It's going. It's happening.
If we really are gonna throw this out into the universe, I'm throwing it out.
Brene Brown, come to us. We're calling on you.
She's my friend.
I love it.
She is my friend.
Okay, I believe it.
So
call her up and get her here.
I have said in my dreams, in my heart, that I want to have lunch with her. I just want to sit
Oh, heck
down,
yeah.
chit chat, have a glass of wine, or
Maybe do like
not a
wine
glass
women
of wine,
wellness.
not a glass of wine. We could do that. We could
Yeah.
do that. I really just
We
want
need
to
to do
sit
that.
down and talk to her, and us and 9 million other people, but still.
Well,
I know.
it is.
She speaks to me because her
She's raw.
And her perspective is in science and in really study. It's not
Real
just
numbers.
it's just not anecdotal, like, I feel like this is going to be the way things are. No, it's real, true things that she's looked at in a very specific way, and I appreciate that. The science nerd in me sort of embraces that.
But while still being very, I mean, she'll literally say in her research, she's like, "Oh, I don't like that."
Yeah,
Right. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Right.
It's really cool to see that that fight and that struggle that we all, I think, have again internally.
Right.
So
right.
it's always going to be a fight, and it's always going to be a good fight. I think that it's something different for you to challenge yourself, and to really sit back and to take pause and to reflect. Again, we were talking about reflection too. That should not just be like at the end of the year.
No.
It should be all the time, because there are so many moving parts in life.
Right.
And those, and it may be that some of those people that are down fighting the battle with you might need to take a break and go up to the seats.
Yes.
So, and you might need to too in some other person's life.
Right.
And that's okay.
Well, and two, I think the other thing too is, and one of it's funny that when you think of that quote, you think about people in the arena with you.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
I think about the arena by myself.
Yeah.
And I I don't know about that. We can talk about that later. But I think about the arena and I think, okay, I'm in it. I'm there. And not so much about the people in the cheap seats, but you can be in the cheap seats. Not cheap seats. You can be in the seats and still be with the person in the arena, but not criticizing.
Yeah. Well,
see
that's
what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I think that maybe I translate it. I think that everybody is their own person fighting in the arena. But I think if there's somebody that is truly going through what you're going through, then you need to listen. And I think that that's what that support is there for.
Yep.
And you're always going to have struggles by yourself, but to know who to tell that to, or who to go to, or who supports that, I think it's so different with each and every part of your life. So just to know that is the option.
Yep.
That it's not. I think what she's trying to say is that there's a lot of chatter, and there's a lot of hooping and hollering, and for you to focus on one person up at the top might mean you might get slaughtered on the bottom. So you just have to make sure that you are focused on what's going on inside the arena versus the loud screams that are happening in the thing. So that's
and the other thing too is I think the cool thing about that quote, and I think the cool thing about all quotes, and I have been on an inspirational quote like rampage for the last couple of weeks, but I think the cool thing about inspirational quotes like that is that they hit people in a different way.
That's right.
And they mean something to people in a different way, and they inspire you, but they might not inspire me the same way they would you, and that's the cool thing about it, I think. So what is it that you don't know about me that you would like to know?
I think the red hair really sealed the deal. No, it didn't seal the deal. It kind of did. But that was a really big, overwhelming thing for me.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. It was I don't even know. It may have been a few years ago.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I know.
Right at just years going by.
Yeah.
Fading by fast.
Yes.
Well, that's actually a good thing I can ask you. What, not just like time flying by fast.
Yeah.
We all know that that's occurring.
Yeah.
But, you talk about quotes and you talk about all these different things that you've been kind of like on the inspo train.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? And when you do, what do you go, where do you go, and how do you feel to get that motivation and to I guess refuel yourself? What is the like top thing that you do to refuel yourself mentally?
Yeah. I think that so I think it's interesting. obviously we've got a lot of, bombarding of information all the time, and we have so much information at our fingertips all the time. And sometimes all of that information is overwhelming, and sometimes it's super helpful. And so for me, I've gotten to the point where if I'm in a place of inspiration overload, where I'm just like searching for all kinds of just, give me something inspirational, give me something to make me feel good, give me something to look at something in a different way, give me something to, take me off of this spot to get me onto this spot. Obviously, I look to social media. I mean, social media is the one that sort of bombards us, all of us. And even like the motivation app sends me stuff all the time, every day. And the one thing that I have settled into is when something comes to me, whether it's through social media or through the motivation app or through somebody walking into the store or some interaction that I have with somebody randomly, if what that comes to me, if I need to look at those things, what comes to me, and take them and say, these are not random.
Yeah.
This is meant for me. These things are meant for me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I don't like it.
A lot of times,
right? Sometimes I don't like what it said or what's reminded, but most of the time it's a nice, just sort of reassurance, and the reassurance is what fuels me. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I have been praying recently is for me to see things for the way they are and not for the way I want them to be. Mm-hmm. And that's a tricky situation because we have such high hopes or so many expectations around certain things that sometimes cloud the way that we look at them or cloud the way that we see them. And so to be able to see things for the way they truly are and accept them, and not for the way we're looking at them with a filter of the way we want them to be. So really I have to take all of those quotes and take all of that bombardment and then say, okay, what is
everybody's probably like, wow, how long does this take you?
It doesn't take me that long. It may have taken me a long time a while ago, but it really doesn't take me that long.
It becomes a lot easier once you start to know what you're searching for.
Yeah, and just to say, or really just to sort of say, everything that's coming at me is meant for me. Mm-hmm. It's not random. Mm-hmm. And all the things that make me feel comfortable and all the things that make me feel uncomfortable, all meant for me. And so really, just to be reminded of that really does refuel me. And if I have a bad day, if I get off my rocker a bit, to kind of come back to that and say, and that kind of goes back to what you were saying in that whole, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger situation. You got to remember, how much you've been through and how many things in general, not just me and you, but everybody. And you got to remember, you know what? We're still sitting here. We're still sitting here. We're still ready for it. And that gives me a whole lot of, I feel real big.
Yeah, girl.
I feel bigger than 5'3".
She didn't even need stilettos.
Yeah, it just makes me feel really good. And that is what all of that sort of comes back around to say, you know what, it refuels me. And I can get all weird and,
I love weird.
Well, not weird, but like, oh man, how about this quote? And how about this quote? And how about this quote? And
I love weird. That is weird to me. I like that I can take you have to be open-minded, and if you're going to achieve goals and you're going to get yourself to a new, better place and start that growth train wherever it might take you, you gotta fall into the little bit. And it's I say weird all the time, so I like when you say that, because that gives it almost is like enticing, because you're like, oh, what's why is that and so you kind of get a little bit open perspective.
I it gives me pause a lot of times when, like, the Brene Brown, the man in the arena quote was a Roosevelt quote from, a long time ago. The Ralph Waldo Emerson quote that I like is from a long time ago. These were sort of thoughtful thinkers. These were people that had the ability to write, that could put down these very take the inspirational thoughts from their head and put them on paper. And
because they were going through relatively something deeper and something
right that gave them
explained.
them that insight. And I appreciate that. I like the idea of timelessness with those thoughts.
Yes.
Because these are things, this is not just something that I thought of, yesterday when I was sitting here at the store.
This will be a timeless episode.
This is timeless, yeah. But this is something that has resonated, obviously, with people over a long amount of time.
That's right.
Which then gives me some thought, what, I need to look at this and I need to take this in.
Thought or hope?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
both.
think that there's a little bit in there for sure.
Oh, yeah. Because I think it also reminds us that we are all so connected. Again, a Maya Angelou quote, we are more alike than we are unalike.
Yes.
And that is definitely something that I'm reminded of when I read those quotes from long ago, because it's as pertinent today as it was when it was written
definitely
long ago.
So take some time for yourself this
quotes.
week or next week. Yeah, I mean, come on, we're like, what? We're almost at the 15th of January. We talked about this last week about how it's, you're going to start being those resolutions, and then all of a sudden you feel defeated. Take some time. It literally, if you get that motivation app, it takes 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't even take that long. It'll pop up for you.
Yes.
Take a moment to really try to sink your teeth into something that motivates you or that makes you feel powerful to continue on whatever path you're taking right now.
Well, and if you think about it, that if those motivation app quotes come up for you, they are meant for you. And you can take those and say, okay, how are these things telling me about moving forward? How are these things telling me about what it is that I need to look at in my life internally, however you're handling things? Everything that happens to you is meant for you. And those are important things to remember.
So go out.
Carpe diem. Conquer. Yes.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. Another quote.
Yep, that's right.
Another quote.
That is. Seize the day. Okay, guys.
What's another quote? Can you think of any fun ones? I can't
sure.
think. We'll come up with it next week.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a great day.
Cheers.
See ya. Bye.